Hello and welcome to The Explainer, where we transform complex topics into clear, actionable insights. Today, we're breaking down a huge shift in the Pega universe, the move to the Constellation UI. If you work with Pega, you absolutely need to get what this is all about, and we're here to make it super simple.
So here's our game plan. We're going to start with the old way and its growing pains. Then we'll dive right into what makes Constellation so radically different. After that, we'll get to the good stuff, the payoff in speed and simplicity. We'll also do a quick reality check on the pros and cons. And finally, we'll chart out your path forward. Ready? Let's do this.
All right, let's kick things off on some familiar ground, right? For anyone who's been in the Pega world for a while, the traditional UI is where we all cut our teeth. But we've got to talk about why a change was so desperately needed.
For years, frameworks like UIKit gave us this incredible power. It was like being a painter with a totally blank canvas and every color you could possibly imagine. You could literally create anything. But that freedom, it came with the price tag. Every little custom brushstroke added another layer of complexity. And over time, that beautiful custom painting became this tangled mess. It made upgrades a total nightmare. Users got inconsistent experiences, and the whole thing just slowed down. The very strength of customization, well, it became its biggest weakness.
And that brings us to Constellation. This is Pega's answer to all that complexity. But I need you to be really clear on this. This is not just a fresh coat of paint. It's not a new skin. It's a complete teardown and rebuild of the entire UI foundation. And it's built on the same modern web tech that powers the fastest apps you use on your phone every single day.
Okay, so the absolute heart of this new world is what's called a stateless architecture. In the old way, the server was kind of like a waiter trying to remember every single detail of your entire meal, from the appetizer to the dessert for your whole table. It's exhausting, right? With Constellation, every interaction is fresh. It's independent. Your browser just sends what it needs for that one single request. This makes the whole system so much more robust and way easier to scale. If one little thing fails, it doesn't bring your entire session crashing down.
Constellation also uses something called client orchestration. Here's a way to think about it. Instead of the Pega server building a whole piece of furniture and mailing it to you every time you make a tiny change, it just sends you the Flatpak instructions and the parts. Your browser, the client, does the quick assembly right there on site. It's way more efficient, it cuts down on network chatter, and it makes the app feel incredibly snappy.
And this is a big one. It's built API first. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around the DX API. Think of this as a universal translator. It creates this perfect, clean separation between the user interface, what you see, and the powerful Pega engine in the back. Now, why does this matter so much? It completely future-proofs your applications. It makes it so much easier to connect to new channels, new devices, anything that comes down the road. So look, if you take just one thing away about the architecture, let it be this fundamental pivot. We're moving away from a world where developers had to be UI artists, spending endless hours on custom designs. The new world is stateless, it's client-driven, and it focuses your valuable time on what really truly matters, defining the business logic and the workflow that's going to drive your company forward. Okay, so that's the how. It's a cool new architecture for sure, but what does it actually do for you? What's in it for the business? Let's talk about the payoff, the real tangible benefits you can show your boss. Now, that is a huge number. Pega's own internal studies, and these have been validated by partners out in the field, show that building an application with Constellation is at least 50% faster. Just let that sink in. That means you can deliver value to your business in half the time just by focusing on configuring the workflow instead of handcrafting every pixel of the UI.
And that speed isn't just for developers, not at all. It translates directly to the end-user experience. Because so much of the work is now happening right there in the browser, Constellation's UI rendering is consistently 2 to 3 times faster than what you'd get with traditional UI. Clicks feel instant, screens load into Flash. It's the kind of performance that users just expect from modern apps now.
This focus on simplicity has another massive benefit that people often overlook: user adoption. We have all been on those projects where you build a powerful new tool and it just fails because it's too complicated for people to actually use. With Constellation's prescribed design system, the experience is intuitive right out of the box. As one customer put it, "This stuff looks really simple, and we anticipate no issues with getting people trained." That's a huge win.
Now, no technology is perfect, right? Especially one that's evolving this fast. So let's just hit pause and do a quick reality check. To make the right decision, you need to understand not just the incredible benefits, but also the current limitations and the trade-offs you're making. This slide really lays out the core trade-off you're making with Constellation today.
On the one hand, you gain these massive advantages in performance, inconsistency, and, thank goodness, the end of painful upgrades. But on the other hand, you are temporarily giving up some very specific capabilities. There's no offline mobile support just yet, rule delegation for business users is on the roadmap, but it's not here today, and you simply cannot use old UI rules like sections and harnesses. It's a deliberate, clean break from the past.
So with that balanced view in mind, the good and the not yet, how do you actually get started? The good news is you don't have to jump in all at once. Pega actually outlines 3 really clear strategies for adoption.
Your journey is probably going to follow one of these 3 paths. The simplest, the no-brainer, is strategy 1. Just build any brand new application on Constellation. It's a clean slate. The most common one we're seeing is strategy 2, the hybrid model. You keep your stable, existing apps running as they are, but you build any new case types or workflows on Constellation. This lets you learn and adapt as you go. And finally, there's strategy 3. Only take on a full migration of an old app when there's a really compelling business reason, like new accessibility laws that your old UI just can't meet.
And if there is one piece of advice that you hear from Pega, from every partner, from everyone who's done this, it's this. Do not attempt a big bang migration. Do not try to flip a switch and change everything overnight. That approach is just too risky and way too expensive. The smart, strategic path is incremental adoption. Start small, pick a use case where Constellation speed can get you a quick win, and then build from there. At the end of the day, Constellation isn't a fad. It is the clear strategic future of the Pega platform. The benefits in speed, maintainability, and user experience are just too big to ignore. So the real question for you and your organization isn't if you'll adopt it, it's how you'll begin. Which path are you going to choose first?